A lot of people don't get that, man. A lot of people think it's their little secret bubble and then that's their little spot. But in reality, you know, without it, we wouldn't be here. You know, it's the one that feeds you since day one. You know, it's the one that's gonna recycle you at the end of the day. You know, it's just at the end a big circle of life. You know, just.
To really tend to a garden in the way that it needs to be tended, it takes time and energy and effort. And I think a lot of people are working so hard that they just don't feel like they have the time or it's worth working on the garden. And then there's other people who have plenty of time because they're unemployed, but they don't see a garden as an economic opportunity. So from a government perspective, we can decide what it is we want to prioritize economically. Like, the only reason that big agriculture is doing what it's doing is because the government gives billions of dollars in subsidies every year to grow corn and soy and other things that big ag grows. Local government could easily do that for local farmers. You know what I mean? It's no different, and we would be supporting an entire new economic industry where that could be people's livelihoods. And how good would that be? How sustainable, how local, how fresh, how, you know, and then you would get food into people's hands who are sick mentally. And that fresh food could start to heal their bodies so that they could think more clearly, you know, because a lot of mental health is, I mean, you know, it's super tied. And so if they're eating fresh food and they're around green space and they're in the soil, like they'll get it. But this isn't something that you get intellectually. You know, and I think that was one of the things with law I was telling you, is like these lawyers, these people, these bureaucrats, they understand it intellectually as like a intellectual problem, but they don't actually feel it. Like they're not there, they don't really understand what it is we're trying to protect. You know what I mean? Like once you're here, barefoot, here, you know exactly what you're protecting. We're protecting us, ourselves, Mother Earth. Like,
it's the big Pachamama that keeps feeding us, and we'll take care of it as long as we also treat it with the same respect it's been treating us.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Yeah. You're so right, man. There's a lot of people, they only understand paper, but they don't understand the land.
They're in the mind, they're not in the body, they're not in the heart. You know, America too is like very out of its heart, I think. It's really struggling, it's depressed. And when you're out of the heart, you can't even make good mental decisions, because then it becomes just a mental decision. We just have to, it's feet on the ground first, you know what I mean? And as long as it takes, I think. But I feel like we're finally at a place in time where like something really inherently good and powerful and loving and sustainable, I think people are now open to it, you know?
Also, that was I guess the bright side of 2020, you know, it opened a lot of eyes for a lot of people that we need those green spaces, you know, because not a lot of people have places to go or things to do. So I heard a lot of people that were growing their own food just because of 2020, man, you know, like they started their own little herb garden, or at least some tomatoes and peppers, you know. I'll be like, so it created another little connection, you know. It opened a lot of eyes for a lot of environmentalists, a lot of people that are doing a lot of work with soil and the community itself, you know. But just because I guess they saw at the end of the day the real issues that we have, you know, because people go out of work and we don't see them for 8 hours, but then they come back, you know, and all you see is just someone tired, exhausted, you know, and they don't have the energy to just do something more positive with their time, you know. And when they were out of COVID, you know, they have all that energy and they didn't have nowhere else to put it, so it became frustrating for a lot of people. And when they opened their little garden in their own backyard, you know, they at least will be like, you know what, man, now I have something to do. I'm not up in my room or in the house and I'm beating myself up trying to do something positive, and I'm at least right here in the garden tilting my soil and tending it. So it has helped a lot. It helped a lot of people, you know, like you said, you know, mentally, and just all over again, just reconnecting, man, you know, because a lot of people lost that, you know. So yeah, man, I feel you on that one, man. If we can actually get something like that started with like a lot of green spaces around this community, and actually get them all into a digital platform that someone can send, yo, man, you know, I got corn this year. Can someone come and pick it up and give it to someone else? So that's powerful, man.
One of our policies is 100 parks in South and East LA in the first term. So 100 new big blocks of green space. Then you tie that into people like you so that they become places of education. and solitude and quiet and, you know, play space. Like if you can, green space is all space. You can bring your laptop in the park if that's what you have to do, and then you can put the laptop down and you can go meditate, and then you could do everything. You know, there's a lot of underlying anxiety right now about a lot of things, and I don't think it's healthy for people to just be trapped up in their small apartments in concrete jungles thinking about this stuff, and you know, not even committing to self-healing. You know, it's like they think the global thing is so big they forget to even take care of themselves. And then I think kids still, and they still have that belief, like, you know what, this is it's not an unsolvable problem. It's just not. It's like we have all the solutions that we could possibly want. It's just that they're not being implemented, you know. And
the resources are there, like they say. All we need to do is just actually put them in a cool working order that can actually be sufficient for everybody else.